Good morning. My name is Gabe, and today I'm going to be walking you through some of the basics of personal finance, or at least what I can fit into a 5 to 7 minute presentation. So a little background on me is personal finance is something I'm very interested in, and everything I'm going to be sharing with you today are things that I've learned in class, from my parents, and from doing my own research. And the reason I'm picking this topic is because only 50% of Americans are financially literate, according to a recent survey, and that is especially concerning for us as Christians because we are called to be stewards of God's money, which means we grow money and we use it to bless others and we do not waste it. So my goal for you in this presentation is to show you how to make a basic budget and saving plan. Now, what is a budget? A budget is just a financial plan. It lays out all your revenues and your expenses in a certain period of time. It's considered to be step one of your personal finance journey. We need them to save money because they identify bad spending habits, and we need them to plan for the future because it shows us how much we're able to invest. Now, how do you make a budget? You can do it written down. You can do it on an Excel spreadsheet. They have a lot of free budget templates that you can use. You can do it in a budgeting app, and you can even have ChatGPT make you a budget. Common misconception about budgeting is that budgets are only for poor people. This is not true. Personal finance is determined by your habits and doesn't change no matter how much money you have. So for example, 33% of lottery winners and 16% of NFL players go bankrupt despite making more than enough money to be set for life. Famous example, Adrian Peterson. Adrian Peterson made more than $100 million during his NFL career, yet he went bankrupt before he was even retired. And that just goes to show that he probably wasn't following a very strict budget, and that your personal finance habits shouldn't change no matter how much money you're making. Now, how can you use a budget to save? One common practice is called zero-based budgeting, which means that every single dollar that you earn in a period is either spent or saved. What you don't want to do is have a bunch of money left over in a checking account or in cash every month, because that money will lose value due to inflation. So basically the point of zero-based budgeting is that your revenues minus your expenses and savings equals $0. Common type of savings account that everyone needs is an emergency fund. An emergency fund is meant to cover for unexpected life events, such as your car breaking down, you suddenly get fired, or you have unexpected medical bills. And it's supposed to be about 3 to 6 months of your living expenses. And what you want to do is put that money into a high yield savings account where it's going to earn about 4% with zero risk. And to set one up, you're going to fill it up each month with a certain amount of money that you earn in your budget. And anytime you take money out, you have to refill it in the following months. Now, the most common type of retirement account is the Roth IRA. Roth IRA is a compounding savings account invested into a diverse portfolio, which typically earns about 7 to 10% in the stock market. And you can withdraw it tax-free once you hit 59 and a half years old. And the maximum annual contribution is $7,000, which comes to $583 a month. And the cool thing about the Roth IRA is that if you max it out starting at 22 years old, you put the $583 in every month, and you earn 10% annually, which is what the average rate of return has been in the stock market over the last 50 years. Then you will have over $5 million saved by the time you're 65 years old. Now, here's an example of a budget I made that Kyle's definitely not going to be able to see. It's a monthly budget for an individual living in Indiana who makes $66,000 a year. So you're going to have your revenues, your expenses, and your saving categories. Revenues, you want to make sure you include any money that you make, even if it's from gifts. And then taxes, for this income level, taxes is going to be about 23%. And then you want to start with your tithes, which is 10% for Christians. And then you're going to have your basic living expenses, your rent, groceries, transportation costs. And then for us, we'll probably have student loan debt, phone, insurance, entertainment, dinner. All of these are going to vary person to person, city to city. But what I put in here is just the average amount that I looked up. And that's going to come to $4,200. So you subtract that from your revenues, and you have $1,500 left over to invest. So what I did, I put $500 into the emergency fund. The sooner you fill that up, the better. $583 into the Roth IRA, which is the max amount. And then the rest I put into a savings account for a down payment on a house and a savings for a vacation. And as you can see, with zero-based budgeting, we have $0 left over. So to conclude, personal finance is something that's going to be important for everyone. As Christians, we're called to be good stewards of money, which means we don't waste it, and we grow it, and we treat it as a gift from God. And then budgets are the great first step into everyone's personal finance journey. And with investing and saving, the sooner you start, the better. And then finally, I just want to say that this summer is a great opportunity for those of you who are working a job to make your first budget and to start saving for the future. Thank you.